look down at your leg or your arm to find some cut, and you have no idea where it came from or how you got it. So you put a bandage on it, and a few days later, it's gone. It's all healed, and you don't think anything of it, of this amazing process that causes this to happen. The amazing process that involves mitosis, how your body cells make new body cells. After a cut, your cells have to repair the damage, and mitosis is what allows them to make more cells to do that. Mitosis is great for repairing damage. Another observation, you may notice you're a lot bigger than you were when you were a little kid. In humans, cell division plays a major role in growing from child to adult. It's not that each and every cell in your body expanded to some massive size, but that's not to say individual cells themselves can't grow in size. Muscle tissue, for example, can grow from the muscle cells themselves, increasing in size. But mitosis, which helps cells make more cells, is important for growth. And not just of your general body size compared to young childhood, that mitosis is also involved with the growth of your hair or your nails. Mitosis specifically is the division that happens in eukaryotic cells, and technically it is the division of the nucleus. Cytokinesis, which starts up while mitosis is happening but won't complete until after mitosis is finished, specifically splits the cytoplasm so that you ultimately will end up with two cells. Why this focus on the nucleus? Because in eukaryotic cells, dividing what is inside the nucleus is critical for making a new cell. The nucleus of most human body cells hosts DNA. DNA is really important because it's your genetic information. And if you're going to make more cells, you need to have the same DNA in those new cells as you did in your original cells. You want it to be identical, no mistakes. The problem is, you got a lot of DNA. And we got to get that DNA into the new cells using mitosis. So there has to be a better way to organize that DNA. But what actually happens is that DNA can be organized into these condensed units called chromosomes. Chromosomes are made of DNA and protein. In most cases, humans have 46 chromosomes in their body cells. You can find them in most body cell nuclei. Nuclei is the plural of nucleus, not nucleuses. So visualize 46 chromosomes in a nucleus of a body cell. In most cases, this is the number of chromosomes present in body cells. Organizing DNA into condensed chromosomes also makes it a lot easier to move over when you're making new cells. Before mitosis, there's this very long stage called interphase. Interphase is where DNA replication happens. Those chromosomes get replicated. But let me just say, because I think after all these years, the math here is a little odd, but if you replicate 46 chromosomes that look like this, you still have 46 chromosomes. But each of them now are made of two sister chromatids. These sister chromatids are identical. They are copies. So before interphase, 46 chromosomes, but each one is a single unit. After interphase, 46 chromosomes, but each one has two sister chromatids. So if I counted the chromatids, there would be 92. So these are replicated chromosomes, and I know they replicate it because they each have two sister chromatids. And as long as the sister chromatids are still attached here at the centromere region as a unit, this is one chromosome. For now, while it stays that way. It's really important to explain all this because otherwise the mitosis math doesn't make sense. So let's get into the mitosis phases, shall we? I like to tell students to remember PMAT. It's a little acronym that helps you remember. The P is for Prophase, the M is for Metaphase, the A is for Anaphase, the T is for Telophase. So remember PMAT. The stages in order. Now, I will mention that depending on the level of biology you may be studying, you might learn about intermediates within that, like Pro-Metaphase, which is in between Prophase and Metaphase. Learn more in our description. But PMAT has the 4 major phases we'll be focusing on. So, very first step, Prophase. It's a beginning step. The nucleus is still there. It'll later start to disassemble, and it will be gone before Metaphase starts. During prophase, the chromosomes are visible. In fact, we say they're condensing, which means the chromosomes are thickening and visible. The next stage is metaphase. Remember, the nucleus had already broken down before metaphase started. You won't see it here. With metaphase, I remember M for metaphase, M for middle, because in this stage, the chromosomes line up in the middle of the cell, waiting where they can be pulled apart for the next stage. Next, the A is for anaphase. In anaphase, I like to think of the A for away, With the help of the spindle fibers, the chromatids will move away from each other to opposite sides of the cell. Now, to really point out, once a chromatid is no longer attached to its sister chromatid, you can call it a chromosome. So notice here, the sister chromatids were separated, and 46 of the sister chromatids, now called chromosomes, were pulled away to one side of the cell. And 46 of the sister chromatids, now called chromosomes, were pulled away to the other side of the cell. The last stage of mitosis, think T for telophase. In telophase, the chromosomes are actually at the opposite ends, and new nuclei are forming on each side to make these two new cells. And the nuclei are starting to surround the chromosomes on both sides. So I like to remember that T can stand for 2 because you can really see in the step that the end goal is going to be 2 cells that each have 46 chromosomes. Cytokinesis is responsible for the final separation into 2 cells by splitting the cytoplasm. That splitting of the cytoplasm will be complete after the PMAT mitosis stages. Okay, so 4 last things to keep in mind with mitosis. Number 1, it's really common for mitosis to be equated with cell division. And there's a little bit of simplification there because if you look at the steps, mitosis is specifically of the nucleus. Mitosis is the nucleus division. Now, it's a major part of the cell and critical for cell division, but you don't want to forget that cytokinesis, that part that actually splits the cytoplasm, is really important, or otherwise you wouldn't end up with 2 cells. Number 2, the body cell thing. We said that in humans, mitosis is for body cells. I'm talking skin cells, stomach cells. These are body cells that do mitosis. There are exceptions. Mature red blood cells are body cells and they don't do mitosis. And if we go beyond body cells to gametes, which are sperm and egg cells, they don't do mitosis, and they aren't directly made by it either. Human gametes, sperm and egg cells, are directly made by something called meiosis, which unfortunately has a name that sounds kind of similar. Another video on that. Number 3, when you have a skin cell and it does mitosis, the final result will be 2 genetically identical skin cells. So what happens if they're not genetically identical? Maybe there are changes in the cell. Well, those changes could influence the control of its cell division. And uncontrolled cell division, which would mean the mitosis is not controlled, is often a feature of cancer cells. In our cell cycle video, we talk about how most of the time cells are in interphase. Most of the time a cell is not dividing and therefore not doing mitosis and cytokinesis. But in cancer cells, cell division is typically not being controlled as it should. As we continue to gain more understanding of all of this, we can better develop treatments for conditions like cancer. Number 4, diagrams and illustrations. They're trying to represent concepts, but they have some limitations. In most cases, human body cells have 46 chromosomes, but most textbooks won't illustrate that in cell division pictures because that's a lot of chromosomes. They'll show 2 or 4 chromosomes typically, or 6 or 7. You'll notice with our cell division illustrations, we don't show all 46 either. Petunia pseudopods would not survive the video. Well, that's it for the Amoeba Sisters, and we remind you to stay curious.